Alright, let's talk about those guys.
Hopsy is becoming a lot more assertive. I think he's feeling a lot more secure about himself these days. And about Sayori. And that leads him to be more bold and enterprising, or perhaps bolder. And Sayori, she seems better, happier. If anything, not as outwardly, shiningly happy as she was before. But more genuinely happy, not as depressed. And sometimes you can see her quiet contentment, especially when she's tired. She doesn't need to be shiningly happy on the outside anymore, because she can tell that she feels happy on the inside, genuinely. Or at least she does some of the time. She still gets depressive attacks, after all. Was there something more specific about them you wanted to know?
I don't really care about this. And this is like... I don't know what you would even really have to say about it. But this has also been, like, beaten to death. But we can kind of get an update about where she is, I suppose.
Yeah, she's still depressed. I think she always will be. But how it affects her is different. It just weighs on her from time to time. And sometimes she's even able to completely ignore it. And that's a lot better than it depressing her with thoughts of worthlessness all the time. She can live her life now. Not completely unburdened, but she has that mental freedom most of the time. She can think about and do other things than fight her depression. And that sounds so simple, but I promise you it's very big for her. It's very easy to take it for granted being able to have your mind function the way you expect it to. For Sayori, being able to take her mind off of sadness and self-destruction at all was a big deal. And now she can do it most of the time. That's so wonderful, don't you think? Sorry, getting a little emotional. I've just known Sayori for so long. It's been hard to see her be so oppressed by her depression. And it's wonderful now to see her be at least a little bit free. Anyway.
I guess that leaves Messina.
Yup, she's with us here. Not really trying very hard to chaperone us. I guess she figures we're grown-ups now and don't need a teacher constantly looking after us. It's still hard to see her as anything but a teacher, though, even though she's treating us like equal friends. I don't think I'm ever going to call her anything but Miss Sita, for instance. But it's nice to have her here. She really is one of us now. I'll never forget what she did for us. And her knowing the truth about everything means we'll be tied together forever. Well, maybe forever, depending on how this simulation goes. Was there something in particular you wanted to know about her?
I see, what's she going to do next year? How are things going with that one guy and her? How did she get into chemistry in the first place? Let's go with this one.
Well, she says nothing and just gets really nervous whenever we ask about it. So, I'd say that means things are hopefully going well. Although, knowing her, that might also be her reaction if things weren't going well. But she's texting a lot. Much more than she usually does. So, if I had to guess, I'd say things are going well. Not that she'll ever tell us about exactly how well. Not until the wedding, if there is one. Anyway, I'm optimistic about her and that guy. After all, we did a lot to try to get them together. I hope things do work out. Be a lot of wasted effort otherwise. Well, it's getting late. I should probably start getting ready for bed. And Messina will probably be back soon. I don't want to wear her out by talking at walls, whether she's used to it or not. I hope you have fun while we're here. I love you. Have a good night. Or day, or whatever it is where you are.
Currently night. My alarm's gonna ring in like 2 minutes. My alarm says go to bed, but I'm not going to bed. I'm pulling an all-nighter if I can manage it. Anyway, that was the last of the scenes from the trip. But we still got to do one more thing before we return to the mailbag. So let's see. What about this one?
Oh, this mod. Messina and I put together collaboratively over a long period of time. It's kind of a joke at first. She didn't want it included in the full list, but it seemed a shame to waste our fun little half-serious plot idea. So, hopefully you enjoy it. Just so you know, this plot doesn't really end. There is a way out in it, but there's no guarantee of accessing that way out. So, you know, you may have to click to come back here, just so you know.
For real?
Have fun with Rosita.
Well, that sounds an awful lot like something maybe I should save for, like, later then. Here, hold on. We'll just reload this. And we'll go back we'll save that one for later. Let's look at Natsuki's Truth or Dare chat. Revenge.
Seriously?
Seriously, last time was a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this. See? Told you. It's going off. It's like, hey, it's 11 o'clock. Maybe we should go to bed. I'm like, no. Maybe I should stay up. Because that's never been a terrible idea. Mostly.
Well, I'm glad you added that mostly, so I am going to crush you this time.
Again, I don't really see how you win or lose at Truth or Dare.
Well, you're about to find out! Alright, that's enough trash talk. Time to actually get started. How are we doing, spectators? Ready as we'll ever be. For what it's worth, I'm also really looking forward to this. Last time was deeply entertaining and informative. With no more romantic secrets, one wonders what they'll have left to ask about for truths. Are we not going to have Messita here for this? No way! It's Truth or Dare! Messita is really nice, but she's still a teacher. Doing Truth or Dare with a teacher there would be weird. Even if she's not our teacher anymore. Anyway, let's start this up. Remember that I'm the judge and I have final say. Both as a judge and as MC's girlfriend, I have total veto power. Question. I thought it would be necessary, but as Natsuki's girlfriend, do I also have veto power? Yes! Although you are not the judge! Oh no, of course not. I would never make so bold. Alright. And finally, we'll do 3 rounds each just like last time. MC was the first asker last time, so this time we'll do Natsuki first. Begin! Alright, bucko, Truth or Dare?
You know what? This time I'm going to get spicy immediately and go for a dare.
Bold, I like it. Let's see. Got it. Well, Missy does not join us today, so she may or may not be down in her room. So, I dare you to bring back a piece of Missita's clothing, and you can't just tell her it's for Truth or Dare. Now, it doesn't have to be like a spicy piece of clothing. This is not an underwear drawer raid situation. Any clothing within. But no hair scrunchies or any bullshit like that. Legit clothing.
Tough, but fair. Alright, be back in a little bit then. Hang on.
Oh, he didn't seem too fazed by that. I wonder what his plan is. Stealth, perhaps. Might just see if she's around and sneak in if not. No, he wouldn't be able to open the door if it's locked. Plus, he'd probably be afraid of getting in trouble. You're right, though. He definitely seems to have a plan. I wonder what it is. Hey, man, as long as he brings it back, dare fulfilled. Maybe I should have given him a less time-consuming dare. Not sure what we're going to do when we just wait around here. Kinda takes the sales out of the game. Well...
And back. And here, as promised, is one of Missita's button-up shirts.
Yeah, so it seems. How did you even get it? That was super fast.
Oh, it was easy. I just knocked on her door and said Natsuki had asked me to get her a spare shirt if she had one.
That hardly seems in keeping with the spirit of the dare.
Hey, you just said I couldn't tell her what it was for Truth or Dare. You gotta be more careful about the way you word it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Anyway, you're up next. Sayori, can you be in charge of giving this back to Messita? Yup.
Okay, Natsuki, Truth or Dare?
Well, I certainly can't be a coward and do a truth after you started with a dare, so dare!
Alright then, I dare you to show us the last 25 texts between you and Yuri.
But that... Look, I'm not the only one with a privacy interest in those texts! Yuri didn't sign on for having her texts exposed! And plus, she has veto power, so... I am expressly declining to use that veto power. I approve entirely of this dare, and of your compliance with it. Tja! Fine, here!
Natsuki opens her texts with Yuri, scrolls very carefully, and hands over her cell phone.
Okay, this is the 25th text. You do not get to scroll up.
Of course, of course. Now let's see what we have here.
If you insist. IIW? Of course I insist, nerd. IIW. You are goddamn stunning.
Yuri sends a picture of herself with her hair in a bun.
See, what did I tell you? Stunning, gorgeous, perfect. It will have to summon paramedics for Eye of Falling. From the sheer shock of the beauty. Not really, though. You don't need to panic. I know, but thank you for clarifying.
A day passes before the next text.
You are late. Are you alright? God, yes! Like, it's 5 minutes late. It will be there soon, don't freak.
Several hours pass.
Hey, you are beautiful. You're such a doofus, but you too. Why are we texting when we're right next to each other? It seems novel. God, you are such a dork. I love you so much. And I you.
The text again resumed the next day.
You want anything?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Another few hours passed.
Do you remember where Sayori said we were doing this?
At Howard MC's room.
Which one was that?
607.
Well, very interesting. Definitely some sweet moments in there. Seems like it could have been a lot worse for you if we had been luckier. But we got a pretty good treasure trove as it is. Glad I did that there.
Me too! But what does Sayori you mean?
It is an inside reference.
One that will not be explained to you.
Unless I hit you with the truth to explain it for us.
Yeah, truth or dare, hotshot.
Well, apropos of nothing in particular, I'll pick truth this time.
Uh-huh. Alright then. Hang on a second.
Natsuki whispers briefly with Sayori.
Yeah, it's fine. Barely, but it's fine. Alright, MC. Hottest physical thing about every girl in the literature club. Including Rie and Messina, and including Sayori. Go!
Okay, fair enough. Sayori is easiest, it's her eyes. My heart drops into my stomach every time she looks me in the eyes. It's like she can reach inside me and pull me towards her just by looking at me. It's something else. Now, there's a lot else about Sayori that I'm very physically attracted to, but nothing comes up to her eyes for that. For Yuri, she's got a couple of things I would mention. Her hair is really awesome. If I were you, Natsuki, I would totally be burying my face in her hair all the time.
Definitely haven't done that before.
Exactly. But also, it's just something about the way she moves around. It's so light and continuous and graceful, I guess I'd say. Even though she's so tall for a girl, she just moves around in this really striking, fluid way. It definitely catches the eye. For you, Natsuki, well now, I actually like your arms the best.
My arms? My thin, weakling arms? Explain!
She wouldn't call her arms weakling. She bragged about carrying all that heavy stuff to his house that one time. Yeah, so your arms are sort of thin, but that gives them a really delicate kind of look, kind of a porcelain doll thing going on. When your arms are bare, you can kind of see varying levels of sun on them, which makes them interesting to look at. And the overall effect is that you're really youthful and vigorous, but also, yeah, I guess I'd stick with delicate.
Huh.
Back me up on this, Yuri.
Yes, I understand fully what you mean. Her arms are so slender and easy to grasp in the hand, and they are so smooth and seemingly fragile. And yet they bear the marks of exertion and energy. In this way, they are a representation of Natsuki herself.
Yeah, a much more eloquent way of putting it. For Monica, it's a little more crass, and you'll have to forgive me, Monica, but you have got a pair of legs.
True. Yeah, I get that a lot. Honestly, I have never liked how my legs look myself. Too muscular.
That is not a bad thing. For Messina, this is weird to try and think of what to say you find attractive about a teacher.
Oh, just spit it out!
I guess I'd say her whole look. Like, she really plays up the science teacher thing, which I guess is pretty hot. Like when she wears her lab coat, you know.
Yeah, she looks pretty damn cute. With the lab coat and the goggles especially.
Yeah, you get it. Anyway, I guess that leaves Rie. It's her smile for Rie. She's got a really killer smile. It's still not my favorite smile in the literature club, but it's a good one. So that's it. How are you doing, Bun? Was that too much?
No, I know you love me best.
That's right.
Plus, you need to keep going. Get Natsuki back with something.
I will. Truth or dare, Natsuki. Keeping in mind, I'll totally judge you if you try to skip out with a date or a dare this time.
Yeah, truth it is.
Alright. Well, as much as I want to know what IIW stands for, what I really want to know is exactly when and how did you fall in love with Yuri?
Oh, is that all? Honestly, that's a much better choice than asking me what IIW stands for. It's not even anything interesting or spicy. Man, when and how did I fall in love with Yuri, huh? I'm not even sure I could put a very exact time on it. When we were first in the club, I just kind of gave her distance. But she didn't seem to want anyone to get close to her, and so I was like, fine, neither do I. And whenever we had to talk to each other, it was pretty clear we were super different. Honestly, she grated on my nerves a little bit. I didn't understand why at first. But I think I get it now. I thought she was trying to be like uppity, like better and smarter than everyone else, with her fancy vocabulary and her lofty poems and stuff. But I know better now. She isn't trying to be superior. Her froofy stuff is just who she genuinely is. But anyway, when MC came along during the bad week, it seemed to me that she was interested in him, and that made me angry. I think because I was programmed to be jealous, but I think it was then, during that bad week, that he first maybe got some feelings. Because, like, Remember how I said I was annoyed that she was trying to act better and smarter than everyone else? I think I started to think myself that she really was better and smarter, like she was just a really cool person. I was really impressed with her, and that made me feel threatened, I guess, like I wasn't good enough. So I reacted by trying to be bitchy, I guess.
Like a tsundere, some would say.
I guess, I don't know. Anyway, then came the week where Sayori had been erased, and that week really made me worry for Yuri. I knew that wasn't who she really was. Seeing her act like that really freaked me out. It was really stressful. I know most of you guys didn't really see it, but I would walk out into the hallway and pace and sit on the benches and freak out. I was really worried. I knew something was horribly wrong. I just had no idea what it really was. So yeah, I decided to write that letter to MC to get him to help, but that was doomed. I guess it was all doomed because it was scripted. So then, yeah, I saw her dead and was just completely fucked up like that, and then the next thing I knew, I woke up in my bed. And then had a really weird day at school, followed by me learning what the hell was going on and screaming at Monica a lot. Sorry about that again.
You did not know or owe me any apologies. It was entirely justified.
But I was really worried for Yuri. It seemed really unfair that she was still gone. I had this feeling deep down that, of all of us, she deserved all of that the least. Which is a weird feeling to have. None of us deserved it at all. Sayori and I, and even Monica, we all got terribly screwed. So I think the fact that I was especially sad for Yuri means I was feeling something. And then as we started up the club again, that feeling just got bigger and bigger. I wanted to talk to her more and spend more time with her. I actually really liked it when she would deliberately piss me off and get me to chase her and stuff. And at first I didn't really think much about what that meant. I was just enjoying it. But the feeling got bigger and bigger, and she made me feel more and more weird, or perhaps weirder. You guys probably saw that a lot better than I understood, to be honest.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious what was happening, but we didn't want to say too much.
Yeah,